Hey everyone, just doing a quick test. I'm planning to start going and doing live streams on a somewhat regular basis, and just want to test out the equipment. So let me know if you can hear me, if you can give me a thumbs up. Hey Charles Hill 9946. Just trying to make sure everything's good here. I do have one interesting short video to show, and one thing I'm going to be putting a much more detailed video on that I kind of want to talk about. But sounds good. Okay, awesome. So what I'm going to do is, first thing I want to do is show this very interesting video. So this is also going to be another audio that I need to make sure works. And this is for a YouTube video. So if you can't hear it when she starts talking, please let me know.
Guys, I've been doing this for a long time. I worked at universities for over 10 years. I worked at different schools. So I worked at MIT, I worked at Boston University, I worked at Northeastern, I worked a little bit temp at Harvard, but I've worked at different universities, and I'm here to tell you something here is not right. Why is it that all of a sudden something that is a standard for events at Utah Valley University is not present on the form?
Okay, so what she's talking about here is there's a document, and it's basically for any event. It's pretty standard. So you go in there and you basically tell them, this is the protection I need. This is the security I'm requesting. And they're supposed to ask you that. And that's pretty standard at all these different campuses and colleges. And now listen to what she says about, in their specific case, what happened.
For this particular event. That is very weird. And remember when the shooting happened, one of the questions that I did have was, okay, where was security? Where was campus security? This is just unheard of. Guys, when I worked at MIT, Matt Damon was one of the commencement speakers. When Matt Damon came to speak for graduation, there was security everywhere. And it's not just someone who's a celebrity. If you're a public figure and you're speaking at a university, security is provided. So something here is off. Wait till you hear this part.
That's a standard inquiry at, for example, University of Utah events. Speaking of police, UVU has denied Fox 13 News' request for a copy of the Kirk rally security plan. The university is citing the provision in state records laws keeping confidential, quote, security measures, end quote.
Let me show you something that makes me furious.
So basically what they're saying is that whatever security setup they had going on with Charlie Kirk, they're not releasing it publicly. And that is very strange. That is not normal.
Every time I see it. This is a real tax return from someone making $284,972.
Okay, so they have denied a copy of the security plan. So you can see it here. Access is denied under the following grammar provisions. So here's the thing. They feel as though this could hurt the investigation. So here we go, right?
So not only did they not have people on the roof, supposedly the Charlie Kirk security team, which is still protecting his wife, Erica, which is interesting as well. So they failed to protect him, and now they're protecting Erica. Lots of strangeness going on with them. And then you have the situation where the university did not release or won't release whatever security agreement they had, which is not normal either. Now, were they gagged by the judge? Maybe. But very, very sketchy. And the fact that there was no one on the roof, their security team for Charlie Kirk specifically said that UVU was going to handle the roof. And then there was no one up there. So all of this stinks. But, and excuse me as I'm getting used to this software here for my first live stream. Sounds good in Dallas. Hey, Dallas. We're out here in the Midwest. All right, so one thing I wanted to show you guys. So I did originally talk about, here we go, let me get this video up. So originally I talked about, even just yesterday, I was talking about the range day bro and the angle, how it wouldn't work. The thing that's very interesting is this video came last night. Of course, you guys have tons of videos and very interesting information that not everyone has. So I didn't have this information yesterday. But what it is a video that shows a very interesting angle. So I'm kind of going to paint this out for you, and then I'll show you on Google Earth. So you have this pole here, right? Here's kind of the waterfall in the courtyard. And let's come over here. Let me get the right angle right there. So you can see Charlie Kirk, and I don't know how well you can see it, but you can see him and I can see his head. So in theory, at this distance, which we'll see here is about 94 or so feet, you can see Charlie Kirk. And if you were the shooter, you could theoretically hit him from this angle. So now let's jump over and give me, in that other video we saw, there was that pole, and then Charlie's tent is down here in the courtyard, and then there was the other tent that was up here. But what I want to show you is the people that were filming that last video were standing right on top of this building around this spot. So from that spot over into the courtyard, it's about, from this pole to Charlie's tent was about 94 feet, something like that. And then from the spot that they say like Range Day Bro shot from the back is way over here. And that one from this spot, they said somewhere around this vantage point, right? So somewhere in this area, or maybe up on these solar panels, whatever this is, shooting down into the courtyard. So I can get a better angle here. So that person's shooting kind of through there, if you can see that. So they're shooting from here down into that courtyard. So theoretically, from this angle, I still am not 100% convinced that it would hit him in the back of his head and come out through his neck. I'm still not convinced of that, but you can see, maybe they could see them from there. Now, if you were to go back over here on this side of the building, up here, you could clearly see his head and his neck and everything else. You could theoretically take a shot there. If you go the same distance on the other side, that puts you up here on this building, or as you can see, these stairs. So in that other image or the other video that we saw, someone theoretically could have been in with this crowd. There were people here in this window, and then there were people up here on the roof, and tons of people on these stairs and all across the top of this building. And anyone from about this pole, like basically either side of this concrete. So you have this concrete walk that kind of goes around here. From either side, on top, up here on this level, anyone could have taken a shot and theoretically hit Charlie Kirk from there. The only problem with that is, and you'll see back in this other video, look at how many people there are. So let's go over here to about there. So you'll see maybe even a little bit more. There we go. So it's packed. This whole, I mean, so all the way across here, all these students, all the people going through here in this building, that little area there is packed with students, the stairwells, everything's packed. The top of that building where the brown is, all of that is packed. So if someone shot from there, there's hundreds of witnesses. They would have seen the person, they would have seen the gun and all those type of things. But my point here is, from this video that was sent to me last night, you can theoretically, yeah, I do see that. 10, yes, 8596. I did see that. Yep. Let's see, not across all top of the building because yellow part was tapped off. Okay. So wherever these people are standing, and then plus the opposite end, you can see that there's people there. So from the 96-ish feet to 100 feet, they can get theoretically the angle from this side or the other side. But again, there's people all over it. So I highly doubt the shooter is going to be standing in with a crowd of hundreds of thousands of people with a gun. But theoretically, could that happen if there was a group of people that came in for that purpose and they were surrounded basically by their other buddies or other militia or whoever may have done this? I don't know. The scale of the picture seems off. Scale of the picture in the Google Earth or scale of this video? So I guess my point is the chance of a shot in these areas is pretty slim. But if you go to this other side and you look at Google Earth, if you were to shoot from where a lot of people are saying, not just Range Day Bro, but they're saying initially it was like a plant up here or this top patio. Now they're saying it's back here, right? On the edge of this building. Google Earth is not the best to use. All right. Like from this vantage point, down into that courtyard if I move forward a little bit. So Charlie Kirk would have been down there. So what we really need is somebody, please, in the community, if you know anyone that does like AutoCAD or 3ds Max or 3D modeling, we really need this whole courtyard modeled with a scale of the tent and a scale of a person under the tent and approximately the location of Charlie Kirk. Because then we could do these vantage points and these different shots. We could actually go all around this entire thing. We could go through this entire area and look at every single spot that works where you could actually see Charlie Kirk. And I'm actually interested too to see it from the Losi building over here. I'm pretty sure that shot, you know, it lines up if he was there in the tent. But what I want to see is, would people be in the way? So if you're here at this vantage point, so say I'm somewhere in here, can I still see Charlie Kirk with all the people that were there standing around everywhere and that kind of stuff? Because some of the shots you don't really see. You just see the top edge of the tent. You don't see inside it at all. So if someone could do that, that would take away a lot of the guessing. And even the other theories like peak prosperity, you know, Chris, he's saying that he thought maybe it came from this other building over here. Can someone shoot from here and see Charlie Kirk through the tent? I don't know. But that's kind of what we're looking at. So that's kind of what I wanted to show. The document kind of showing that they're not releasing what the security arrangements were, for better or worse. And then also the fact that in theory, the shot from the back could work, but it would have to be a position where you could see into the tent properly. So until we have some kind of modeling or something, we're not really going to know. But Range Day Bro, if you watch this, please do the test again. And when you do it, put a 2-scale tent and then a 2-scale dummy in there in the same position before you take that shot. And then we'll actually get a better idea of what's going on. But I definitely appreciate you guys stopping by. Again, this was kind of just a test, but I will start doing these live streams more often and maybe on a regular basis. So as always, like and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.